Hello, I'm Val and welcome to my channel. I've just got two journals to show you today, one which I'm reasonably pleased with, and the other which, not so much. So we'll start with the one that isn't so successful, because we do learn as much by our, I was going to say mistakes, but maybe mistake isn't the word. I learned something through making this. I sometimes do those prompt lists that you see online. There's things like Junk Journal January, Junk Journal July, there's the ICAD one, the index card a day. And I've tried to do a few of those and I've always got so far in and then just failed. I've just not got to the end of it. And I always used to think that it was something wrong, that I just couldn't manage to complete these prompt lists. And I tried with the Junk Journal July one, found a prompt list online and just followed it. And I realised something, which is I just don't really like these prompt lists. I'm not talking about this one in particular. I'm talking about generally as an idea. They just don't suit me. And that's not to criticise them, because they certainly work for some people and help kickstart their creativity. But with me, I just find it a bit irritating that there are certain things that I'm meant to do on certain days. And there are some of these prompts that I really liked and that really did spark some creativity, but there were others which I just found annoying. Um, and again, I don't mean this as a criticism of the person who came up with them. It's just that things like there's lace, for example. I really don't like lace and frilly things and doilies and all that kind of thing. So that one just made me roll my eyes. And I got as far, you can see I've ticked them. So I got as far as day 15 and we got to the antique one. And I just didn't know what to do for that. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, this is getting to seem like a chore. This is getting to seem like something I ought to do rather than something I really want to do. So I decided to give up with it, and I decided not to bother feeling guilty about giving up for it, giving it up rather, if I can get my words out. It's just not for me, which is not to say I'll never do another of these challenges. If I find a prompt list that absolutely sends me crazy, then I might do it. But as a whole, I don't think they just don't suit me. So some of these, I think I will take this book apart actually. I was thinking, should I carry on and complete it and just do anything and everything in here? Because there are some pages that I quite like and some things in here that I like. I think there was a prompt sepia, and I think that was part of that, and I think that might have been something, maybe map, where you were prompted to do something involved with a map, and I thought that gel print kind of looked like streets on a map, like a city landscape. That's another of the same gel print. There was one which was to do with pop-ups, and so I did that as a pop-up, and making that made me realise that actually I should have done it so the butterfly wings opened as you open the pages up. That would have been more effective. I quite like that, which I made. The prompt was metal, so I got a metal safety pin and metal charm and some metal looking beads, even if they're not metal. What else did I do? There was a waterfall prompt, so I got as far as doing these as a kind of a waterfall. What else did I do? There was a light prompt, a prompt that said light, so I did that. That's from a yogurt container, and I've got these stuck on gems, so let there be light. And what else? I think there was a prompt which was something like transparent or hidden. I couldn't tell you without going and looking it up, and so I did that. Oh, there was that. That was the one piece of lace I could find that I had, so I'd stuck that in. There's a prompt that said folio, so I had to look at the meaning of folios, so I ended up making a little card which had that written on it. So yeah, that was as far as I got with that. But yeah, I think I will just take that part and reuse parts of it I like, because it just didn't work for me. So we'll put that aside. And this is one that I liked a bit more, and this is a journal that had a theme to it, because I've realised that I do like books to have a theme to it. And this one was butterflies, and I made butterflies in various ways. So this is it's brown paper, and I've collaged, I've covered it in PVA glue, and then I've stuck fabric onto it, and just little scraps, odd scraps of fabric, and there's some lines of machine sewing on there when the glue's dried. And I've just cut out butterfly shapes from the material and added some sticky gems on there. On the front we've got, this is a container from, it's a makeup container for pressed powder, kind of thing you powder your nose with to make it not shiny. So sorry if the ring light is glaring, but I thought this made, it kind of reminded me of years ago when people sadly collected butterflies and killed them as part of their collecting process, and they put them in display cases. So I there's a book page there behind her. That's from the Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady, I think, that book page, which seemed appropriate. And then there's a fake butterfly, paper butterfly on there. So it was like a little display case, I thought. The cover is actually made from a Tetra Pak. I think that was an oat milk container. And you can kind of see the shape of the carton if I put it like that. And it does make quite a nice cover. It's got gel prints on the outside. And I might end up covering this inside. But it's a sturdy cover, but it's also, you can get an awl through it and staples through it. So you can make holes in it. And I've just got the 2 signatures in here. And there is still quite a bit of room in there. And there are just various butterflies in here. There's that's paper collaging. Then I've cut out the butterfly shape and just used a white pen, like a Sharpie, to make some lines on there. More of those stick-on gems, and then I've just drawn the antenna on there. There's a stamped-on butterfly. There's some sari silk there and a bit of yarn. And we've got, that's done with watercolour paint and alcohol ink. Just messing around with that. We've got some die-cut butterflies. Got some stickers. I'd bought some cardstock off Facebook Marketplace, and there were some packets of butterfly stickers in with them. So they're not something I'd probably buy. I don't really buy lots of stickers, but I had them, so I thought this seemed the appropriate book to use them in. And there's just a butterfly cut out of some interesting paper. There's a little journal card there. And there's a little wooden butterfly on some corrugated card. Brown paper butterfly. That's another die cut one. And there is still room in here if I want to add more things to it. There's a larger fabric butterfly. And another sticker. And you can see there's still space here. I could add things. And that's a little, is that a pocket? No, it's not a pocket. That's another one. Watercolour and alcohol ink. A nice postage stamp with a flower on there. And the butterfly to visit. There's a very old cigarette card of a monkey flower. That says Wills's Cigarettes. They were a firm down in Bristol where I used to live. And it is weird that years ago cigarette firms would encourage you to buy their brand by including pretty little cards inside the packs, which could be collected by maybe the smoker's children, which is the grim thought. And that's a picture from my garden. some white cosmos. They're beautiful flowers to grow, but they need an awful lot of deadheading. And just more butterflies everywhere. And I do like these little bits that lift out, give you little surprise areas. And that is from some packaging for some shower gel. Got a little card there. And this, the wings were from a magazine advert. I think it was for alcohol. I think there was a bottle of gin or vodka in the middle of those wings instead of the butterfly's body. So I cut the wings out and I just drew that shape and then filled in the face and the hair, and she ended up looking a bit like a flapper girl from the 20s. So yeah, that's her. And there's another pocket there with nothing in it. And that's about it. That's my book. And yeah, so if you've not thought of using a Tetra Pak for a cover, then give it a go, because they do make really nice, sturdy, but still a bit bendy covers. So those are my two books, one which will go back on the shelf and one which will be dismantled. So I hope that was fun, interesting. Maybe you learned something yourself through it, who knows. Thanks so much for viewing, and hopefully you'll stop by again and I'll have something else to show you. Okay, thanks for your time. If you can leave me a like or a comment, that would be really appreciated. Thanks so much. Bye bye.